Lesson 2-6, Solving Two-Step Equations. So what we're going to be talking about today is how to solve an equation with two steps. We learned in the last lesson how to write and look at or evaluate an expression with two operations. So now we're going to look at an equation. So we're going to add an equal sign in there. And we're going to see that we solve it pretty much the same way we learned how to solve equations in lessons 4 and 3, to use the inverse operation. So once again, look at which operations are being used and undo them by using inverse operation. And this is probably the part that trips people up the most, you do them in the opposite order of operations. So the first thing that we undo would be any addition or subtraction. There are a couple of exceptions, but we're not going to need to worry about that right now. We'll talk about them in class, but don't need to worry about them just right now. Just kind of keep it tucked in the back of your mind. We are going to use the inverse operation on both sides of the equal sign. Then the second thing we're going to undo is any multiplication or division. We again will do that on both sides of the equal sign. And then we will have a solution statement to write. It's easiest to look at an example. So let's look at this problem. 6 families have split the cost of a family reunion. In addition, each family spends $65 for a hotel room. Each family spends a total of $160. Write and solve an equation to find the cost of the reunion. So let's talk about this step by step. I have everything written here for you, but let's take a look at it. It said that each family spends a total of $160. So that's going to be what our equation is going to equal. This side here is how much each family will spend. This is also how much each family is spending. We know they're each going to spend $160. So what will add up to that $160? We know they're going to spend $65 for a hotel room, and we know that they're going to split the cost of the reunion 6 ways. So the cost of the reunion divided by 6, because they're going to split it 6 ways, plus the cost of the hotel room will equal the cost for each family. Okay? Now that we have our equation written, we need to think about how to solve it. So our first question is always what operations are being used? Division and addition. So to solve this problem, we're going to need to use the inverses. We're going to use multiplication and we're going to use subtraction. Now we also solve it in the inverse way we would normally simplify it. So we're going to do any undoing of addition or subtraction first. So we said we would be subtracting. We're going to do that first. Subtract 65, and again on both sides of the equal sign. So minus 65 on this side, minus 65 on this side. If you take this c divided by 6, you add 65, then you subtract 65. These two cancel each other out, and we're just left with the c divided by 6. On this side, when we simplify, 160 minus 65 is 95. So now we have to look again which operation is being used and use the inverse of that operation to solve it. We have division. The inverse of that is multiplying. So we're going to multiply by 6, and we're going to do that on each side of the equation, each side of the equal sign. So on this side, all we have left is c, and 95 times 6 is 570. So the cost of the reunion, $570. Let's look at another example. Here we want to buy a CD player. It costs $99. You already have $15, and you know that you can save $12 a week. when will you have enough money to buy this CD player? Okay, so this is going to equal the cost of the CD player. This is going to equal the cost of the CD player. We know that the CD player is $99. So if we put equals 99, now this side is going to represent also $99, the cost of the CD player. It says you already have $15. And in addition, you're going to save $12 a week. $12 per week or $12 each week, that would mean that you would multiply those. So the 15 you already have plus the $12 for each week need to equal the cost of the CD player so you can buy it. So to solve it, we're going to look again, what operations do we have? We have 15 plus, and we have 12 multiply. So we're going to be subtracting and dividing to figure out our problem. So we undo any addition or subtraction first. So minus 15 on each side of the equal sign. That means this will cancel, 15 plus and 15 minus, and all we have left is the 12 times W. 99 minus 15 simplifies to 84. Now which operation do I have? Multiply. My inverse would be to divide both sides. Divide by 12. My W is equal to 7 because 84 divided by 12 is 7. So it will take 7 weeks. All right, let's do some practice problems.